Basically, how a relay works is that there's going to be a control current side and a load current side. The control current side is going to be either driven by a small switch inside the passenger compartment, or it's going to be driven by a PCM driver. And the driver is going to give that current side ground, and when it does, it's going to let current flow into a coil, which creates a magnetic force. This is known as induction. The induction is going to close the mechanical switch that lets the current flow from the positive side to the negative side of the load current side. So why do people use relays in circuits? Computer-driven circuits are not current tolerant. The drivers in the computer are going to be damaged if high current flows through them. So that's one reason. Another reason is because of space. There's not enough space inside the passenger compartment, like, for example, a steering control switch. Another reason why people use relays is because they're cheap, relatively cheap, and it's a high wear component from the high current arcing between the switch, and you can replace a small component instead of an expensive component, and it's easier to change. Now that you're somewhat familiar with how relay operation works, let's go over how to troubleshoot this component. The following is a mock case study that I created to diagnose a loose relay. Hello, this is Pete Newell, and I'm sitting in a 2013 Dodge Dart, and I got my Solus here. And what we got here is these two codes right here: ASD main control circuit, ASD main sense circuit. And this is going to be a basic rundown of how to diagnose if there's a loose relay in the car. So first thing we have to do is identify which one is the ASD relay. I chose this vehicle because it has numbers with no legend. There's nothing to help you, so we have to use all data. So first what you want to do is line it up with what you have. We're going to go over to all data. I already had the vehicle pulled up. I'm search for ASD. And there's a diagram, a description one, and it gives you this picture, and this isn't what we have. So you want to avoid that and go to locations. It's going to give you a picture like that. I don't think you can see that. This is automatic shutdown relay, and it's our TO3. So okay, back over here to the vehicle. And we're gonna look at our box. TO3, bottom right corner. Bottom right corner. This is our relay. Doesn't feel loose. Look at the side of the relay. Our power is going to be R3, and it's going to be, there's actually a plus side right there. So what we can do is check the powers. Alright, so I'm going to use the just a simple test light. I'll get a battery negative. We're going to check for power in our two slots here. test light should light, and as you can see, it lights, and it lights. So this is just a tip to give you which direction you want to approach this vehicle. Did I just check both of the fuses at the same time? So we're eliminating steps here. Now I don't have to check my fuse because we know we have power going to it. If it is a loose relay, it should start if you just really push it down in there. So that's what was wrong with this vehicle. There's another trick that I want to show you. It doesn't have to do with ASD relays, but it does have to do with just relays in general. I know from this picture that this is the okay, so there's another check that I wanted to show you guys that we can do right here at the power distribution. And we can check if we have power. Test light lights. This is on the load side. Okay, so while checking the load side of the circuit, you can take your test light, put it to battery positive, and you can see if you have circuit integrity. As you can see, we do. However, it's not charging the AC clutch. You can't hear it click on and off. I don't know if you can hear that. The reason why it's not clicking on and off is because this test light is actually stealing some of that voltage that it needs to close circuit and click it over. So what you can do is you can take your standard DVOM, you can go to amperage and switch it to amps. And you can actually jump these two terminals with this now. It's now a jumper wire. Alright, so this check that we're doing right here, you're going to take your two leads and just hook them across without spraying the terminals. And you might see a little arc, but you can actually hear that now, that clutch activating, because we essentially... So here's some don'ts for when you're performing these types of relay checks. You don't want to jump across a computer-driven circuit with this, because essentially that's going to blow the fuse in the meter. And before it does blow the fuse in the meter, it could also smoke the driver. That's when the PCM is going to be sending you some smoke signals. And once the smoke comes out, it doesn't go back in.